Welcome, fight fans. MMA Station is here to bring you another epic combat story. UFC 294 is on its way for another epic title fight between Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira. But they will not be the only ones under the spotlight. Khamzat Chimaev and Paulo Costa are coming to warm up the fight fans and earn their seat in the stacked middleweight title contender race. Khamzat Chimaev is undoubtedly one of the most captivating fighters to grace the UFC octagon. His journey from an undefeated prospect to a record-breaking force has been nothing short of remarkable. However, before basking in the luxury of his current life, Chimaev endured a long and arduous path that forced him into the bores we see today. Born in a small village in war-torn Chechnya during a conflict with Russia, Chimaev grew up surrounded by pain and suffering. His resilience was evident when he embarked on his wrestling career in Russia, excelling in the sport, following in the footsteps of his big brother, who sought a better life in Sweden. Khamzat found his second home in this new land. Prior to venturing into the world of MMA, Chimaev demonstrated his wrestling prowess by outclassing the competition in 2 weight categories on the national scene in Sweden. Upon joining the Alistar Training Center in Stockholm, he wasted no time amassing 3 amateur MMA victories, all by finishes. His transition to professional MMA was equally impressive. With 2 professional wins under his belt, he secured a contract with the esteemed MMA promotion Brave FC. In his Brave debut, Chimaev faced Marko Kisik, an undefeated fighter, boasting 5 consecutive finishes. Despite the odds, Chimaev delivered a crushing TKO victory in the very first round. In less than a year, he notched 4 professional victories in Brave FC, defeating 3 undefeated fighters, including Ikram Aleskerov, a multiple-time world and European Sambo champion. His UFC debut in 2020 was nothing short of historic, with 2 victories in under 10 days, a record that still stands today. Presently, Chimaev stands tall as an undefeated UFC fighter with 12 victories to his name. What sets Chimaev apart is his audacious ambition to conquer 3 weight categories: welterweight, middleweight, and light heavyweight. While this may seem improbable, his reach, skills, and the endorsement of one of the best light heavyweights of all time, Alexander Gustafsson, suggests that he has a legitimate shot at attaining these 3 championship belts. In the end, Chimaev's remarkable journey from a war-ravaged and impoverished upbringing has fueled his determination to shine and rewrite the MMA record books. He's a testament to the adage that hard times create strong men, and he's poised to take the MMA world by storm. It is getting even more exciting, so stay focused and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss another moment of the MMA action. Now, we'll turn our spotlight to the powerhouse, Paulo the Eraser Costa. From his early days in Brazil to his explosive rise in the UFC, let's trace the incredible journey that led him to many epic fights, but also epic fall downs. Born on April 21st, 1991, in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, Paulo Costa's journey into the world of mixed martial arts began at an early age. His natural talent and passion for combat sports was evident from the start. His early professional MMA record is impressive. His debut was on February 5th, 2012. In 8 years, he had 4 consecutive wins, all of them by finishing his opponent in the very first round, 7 TKOs and 1 submission. For these 8 fights, Costa spent a total of 20 minutes in the octagon and won 2 titles in 2 different promotions, the face-to-face and the jungle fight middleweight titles. In the meantime, he stepped into the Ultimate Fighter 3, where he managed to win the first one with a guillotine choke and lose the second fight via split decision. Finally, in March 2017, Paulo Costa entered the UFC octagon in his middleweight debut. As you can imagine, following his previous record, he spent less than 2 minutes and dispatched Garrett McKellen to the hospital with a vicious TKO, winning the Performance of the Night bonus. However, this was just the beginning of his UFC journey. In the next year, Costa had 3 more wins where he dominated all of his opponents and TKO'd them in the second round. Climbing the middleweight rankings so fast and in such a dominant fashion put him in front of another middleweight monster, Yoel Romero, who was coming back pretty angry from a split decision loss to Robert Whittaker on the 17th of August. In Anaheim, California, Paulo Costa went to his first real stress test and won his first unanimous decision victory, overwhelming the ultra-tough Cuban fighter. The 3-round spectacle won the fight of the night, and Costa got a dream title shot against Israel Adesanya. It took almost a year of trash-talking and threats before Costa and Adesanya stepped into the octagon. It was truly visible that both fighters didn't like each other at all. The highly anticipated pay-per-view event was organized in Abu Dhabi and ended up in disappointment for the Brazilian fighter. After a relatively peaceful first round, Costa tried to connect with a high kick, which was immediately punished by Adesanya with laser-accurate shots to the head. The last style bender rapidly capitalized with more shots and stamped Costa's first defeat. After the loss, Paulo Costa moved up to the light heavyweight division, where he was not able to dominate like before, and booked another loss by unanimous decision to Marvin Vettori. Following another disappointment and almost a year with no fight, Costa came back to the middleweight division to fight Luke Rockhold in his last UFC fight night at UFC 278. It was a fight with epic combat, where Costa dominated most of the fight, showing dominance in the stand-up game, but also huge gaps in the grappling exchanges, which probably saved the very tired Rockhold from being finished via submission or ground and pound. Costa won via unanimous decision and witnessed the retirement of another middleweight champion. Watching these two and their incredible journey sets huge expectations for another great fight night in the octagon. So far, nobody actually managed to do something against Khamzat except Gilbert Burns. While Costa already suffered 2 losses during the last 2 years, Khamzat was very active and moved up in the weight division, not putting time aside for rest or anything other than preparation. At the same time, Costa fought only once in the last year, probably having more time to recover and buckle up for another attack on the belt. His outstanding punching power, aggressive fighting style, and heavy kicks make him unpredictable, especially against fighters who never stop pushing forward and sometimes lose sight of the winning strategy, counting on their toughness. Like Chimaev, Costa showed excellent takedown defense against Romero, and probably he's been working to improve it further during the UFC 294 camp, knowing that it's a big part of Khamzat's game. Meanwhile, the trash talking on social media between both fighters is getting more and more intense, so fight fans might expect a lot of drama and a big show right from the stare downs. The beauty of this matchup lies in its unpredictability, as even experienced fight fans can't be sure of the outcome. As we always say, at this level, it is a matter of one laser shot at the right moment. And that wraps up another fight story with MMA Station. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action. Thank you for joining us on this incredible ride. Until next time, stay hungry, stay passionate, and keep supporting the world of combat sports.